Hello there, race fans. We're interrupting the highlight video here at the beginning because we need to discuss the ongoing issue with the weather and the lightning at the racetracks. Our Formula Rock scientists have completed their investigation. This is the report right here. I've read the whole thing, and what it basically boils down to is they believe that the amount of speed coming off our race cars is so great that it's whipping up the atmosphere and creating our own storms, creating lightning over the racetrack, and that's what they believe is the issue. I have a problem with that because if you remember at the 8 Bowl, we had 2 lightning strikes that hit the ground and race cars appeared with the drivers inside them. Now, lightning can hit the ground and things can catch on fire and stuff, but to create something that appears, something else is going on. And so the other night I was watching the Sci-Fi Channel, and they had this old show called Sightings, kind of a goofy UFO show. But they had this guy, and I've seen him before. He's like got gray hair, he's got a handlebar mustache, and he goes to haunted houses and he walks around saying, "Ghosts, get out of this house, you're not welcome here, you must leave." And apparently, ghosts have no will. And they hear him say that and go, "Whoa, I'm out of here." So I'm hiring this guy to come to our racetracks and walk around the tracks and maybe going, "Lightning, go away." And maybe he can get rid of it. So it's an ongoing investigation. I agree with some of this. We are going incredibly fast. We are great drivers. But something else is going on, I think, besides just the weather. So we're going to figure this out because we care about each and every one of our drivers. Yeah, whatever. All right.
Well, that's some interesting news. That's right, folks. It's Formula Rock's 10th event of our Return to Action season, or Season 6. We're at the Daytona road course. We had 15 drivers show up for the race. 14 are actually going to roll off for the actual event. That was 15 for practice, and now 14 for the event. Anyway, pole position was taken by Johnny Kaz with a 135.421 mile per hour lap. That's screaming out there. Fine job by Johnny Kaz. Well, he's bringing the field down. That's Armalat on the outside, Escuba and Randy R3 on the second row. The green is out. We are racing for 40 laps of exciting racing action here at the Daytona road course. We're coming into turn 1, which is a tricky corner. Armalat in second, Escuba in third, Randy R3 fourth. You're on board with Serbuz, who had qualified third but had some kind of problem after the qualifying event was over and had to take a provisional starting 10th. Look at that. The entire field gets through turn 1, which is so tricky, without an issue. Fabulous job by everybody. Your leader, number 68, Johnny Kaz, into the infield section now. He's got the entire pack behind him. That's what happens when you're leading. You have the entire pack behind you. Running 5th, number 58, Mark B., one of our rookies, out there racing right behind Randy R3. Oh, something's going on behind us. Let's take a look and find out what that is. Oh, it's Camaro guy, 327, his brand new flame ride, going off in the grass, trying to get it woed up. He's into the sand, saving it. Whoa. The problem is this is a decreasing radius right-hander. It's so hard to get back on the corner, but he eventually will after dropping a ton. Serbuz, who started 10th, going underneath number 29, Hoosier 29. That's Mad Dog 38 in there as well, as we are trying to complete lap number 1, coming into the tricky, contact. Hoosier 29 up on 2 wheels. That tricky chicane is the toughest corner, one of the toughest corners on the racetrack. Taz Jr. H showed up at Houston with a sponsored ride. This time he showed up with an unsponsored ride. It says on the side, need a sponsor, the number 105 car. He's out on the track, missed practice. Didn't get a chance to mention this. Last week's winner at Pocono, number 5, Escuba 1. I didn't mention it before because I figured he had a couple of wins in Formula Rock, but this was actually his very first win. So a big hats off to Escuba 1, and I'm sorry I didn't mention it. End of lap number 1 for number 44. Missed a shift. He's going to miss a corner, and he's going to go basically head on into this crash wall. Oof. And that's the end of his day after 1 lap. That's way too early to leave the race. Back to 4th spot. A good battle developing now between Randy R3, who's in 4th, Mark B., who would like to take that position away on lap number 2. And then with our special hidden camera underneath the grandstands, we're looking at number 83, Lady, in the girl-powered ride. Coming through the infield section, look at the crowd waving her on. Oh, she's a fan favorite. Alrighty then. Back to your leader, coming through that nasty chicane. It's number 68, Johnny Kaz, in the Williams engineering ride, back out on the high banks. We're looking at Camaro guy racing with girl power sponsored Lady. It's side-by-side racing action. Lady hangs on to the position. Shutting the door on Camaro guy early on. Mad Dog number 20, Mad Dog 38. Ooh, buries the right side of that car. Coming through that decreasing radius right-hander, looking good. Third place running, number 5, Escuba 1. Getting into, whoa, oh man, he's dirt track and saves it. Turn 1 is a tricky, tricky corner. So hard to get that corner right. But nobody dies, that's a good thing. 10th starting, number 37, Escuba is now up behind DVD. This is the fight for 7th place in the early stages of the event. And that's Escuba's going by. Double D tucks in behind him for a little drafting help as they head onto the back straight. All right then, start of lap number 3, the sponsor needed ride of Taz Jr. 8 misses his braking zone off into the giggle weeds. He's going to smack that wall hard. Oh, that's a big hit. Let's look at that from our float cam from behind the car. Just can't get it woed up, and then he disappears, but reappears in time to just clobber that wall, and he'll be out of the race, and that brings out our first yellow. Didn't get a yellow when Mr. Shift did that, but now we do get one when Taz Jr. 8 hits. Everybody pits with the exception of the top 3 drivers. That leaves Johnny Kaz in first, Armalat second, and Escuba's now up to 3rd place by not pitting. Smart move on his part if it pays off. Johnny Kaz bringing us down for yet more green flag racing, and we are off yet again on lap number 6. Johnny Kaz bringing it in. We're all worried about this turn number 1 on starts and restarts, but as you can see, you're on board with Randy R3, who's 5th on this restart. Everybody's doing a great, great job, and we are racing without incident. In fact, we never had an incident at all in turn 1 the whole night. Very cool. Number 38, Mad Dog 38's in a good fight with fellow rookie Mark B as they're coming through that right-hander. This is not the decreasing radius one. DVD's headed towards the decreasing radius corner right about now as he battles in 6th spot with girl-powered sponsored lady. I don't know, I just think that sounds cool when I say that, so I'm doing it. Haven't seen Tucson 4 until right now. He's off into the grass, but saves it, gets back on, loses just 1 position to Hoosier 29. Lady's getting a drafting help from DVD. Is going to dive down below him. She's going to take over that position right about there, elevating herself to 5th spot at this, or excuse me, 6th spot at this stage of the event. You're looking at 2nd running, number 45, Armalat, putting a lot of pressure on that right rear as he comes through that 1 corner, but he's staying right on the back end of Johnny Kaz. Moments later, Mad Dog 38 is going to get off into the sand, trying to save it. But that decreasing radius corner, it's so hard to get it back on the asphalt. Finally does, loses a bundle of positions, however. All right then, Camaro guy's going to just power too early. Tag that wall just a little bit, but he keeps going. Hurt his pride, but you know, he's all right. He's over it. You got Armalat now. Escuba's right behind him in 3rd spot, going wide, trying to undercut him, coming off onto the high banks. Didn't work that time. Girl-powered sponsored lady. Sorry, I don't know why I'm on that. It's going to lose it right here and just clobber the wall. And that will kill her car. She is done for the day. Camaro guy 327 in the infield. Going to get a tag from Mad Dog 38, and he's going to do everything but flip. Apparently, he'd made a stop by the Rock Racing Hospitality Beer Shack because he's having a really hard time getting back on the back on the racetrack. But I believe he can conquer that beer and be back on the track. Anyway, number 29, Hoosier 29, gets by Camaro guy 327 now as they go into that ever-popular decreasing radius right-hander. Moments later, Mad Dog 38 coming into the chicane. Like I said, very tricky thing to get right. He's going to just wallop that crash wall. And as he's sitting there on his head trying to get his wits about him, he's suddenly hit by lightning. As you can clearly see, the lightning problem still exists, as we talked about at the beginning of this video. All right, after the yellow flag and that mess, well, there's no mess to clean up after lightning hits you. Anyway, Randy R3 now out front, takes the green, and we're back to racing here at the Daytona Road Course, of course. Yeah, that's the thing about lightning. Hit your car, man, when there's no mess to clean up. Didn't think about that before. All right, good battling between Randy R3, Mark B, Armalat's in there, Johnny Kaz in 4th, Mark B in 2nd place, in a good fight with Armalat for 2nd, excuse me, as we're coming through the infield yet again. You're looking at the crew coming through onto that tricky section of infield. And that's Escuba 1 trying to put a move or trying to get up behind Escuba's. Tough place to pass. Armalat is just going to get wild out of third place and spin across the track into the giggle weeds, keeps it off the wall. I don't know what makes them giggle weeds, but apparently they, whoa, maybe he was hanging out at the Rock Race and Hospitality Beer Shack too. I don't know. We'll have to find out. Anyway, keeps it going, loses a bunch of positions. Randy R3 out front at the Daytona Road Course. Randy R3 seems to have a lot of luck at this particular track. Raced her 7 times, never finished out of the top 5. See if that works out for him again today. Mark B right behind him is hoping to take that particular record away. Tucson 4, haven't seen much of him. He's been racing quietly, kind of hovering towards the back of the pack, just minding his own business. See him waiting for things to happen, see how that works out for him. Sir Buzz and Escuba 1 coming down to finish off another lap. Escuba 1 dives below, pulls off an impressive pass. Of course, Sir Buzz saw him coming, let him go. That's some clean and sporting racing right there. Alrighty then. Mark B is going to try to go underneath Randy R3. Not the rule, so he pinches it off to keep from hitting him. Nice move. Spins it out. Doesn't get hit by him. Might get tapped by Johnny Cash just a bit, but nobody hits him. But he could have taken Randy R3 out, but instead spun it to avoid the crash. That was very sporting. Of course, he lost a bunch of positions. Anyway, back to Randy R3 out front. He's now got mirrors filling up of Escuba 1, or with Escuba 1, as this green flag stint continues. You're looking at number 29, Hoosier 29, coming into turn 1. As I said, this is a tough corner to get right. It's hard on the brakes, downshifting hard to get it slowed in. Oh, he clobbers that tire barrier, rips the wing almost off, and before he has it, oh, and then his motor lets go. It's just going from bad to worse, but it's not over yet because now he's going to get hit by lightning. Oh, man. That was just a bad incident there for Hoosier 29, and he is gone for the race. After pit stops, we've got Johnny Kaz back out front, Armalat second, Camaro guy 327 now up to third place. Going to be on board here with Tucson 4. This is about mid-pack, and you can see once again everybody through turn 1 cleanly. Awesome restarts in this race by every driver on the racetrack. You're looking at Armalat in second, trying to figure out a way past Johnny Kaz. Both drivers running laps into 135s, which is pretty screaming here at this facility. Camaro guy 327 behind Randy R3. That's the battle for fourth. Sir Buzz bikes it hard, but doesn't flip. 1 lap later, Johnny Kaz is going to get down on the grass just a little bit, and that's going to slow him up just enough for Armalat to tap him in the back end. Unintentional, just wasn't expecting him to slow down. Big crash for Johnny Kaz, and he's going to drop a bunch of positions there. However, he will continue in about 8th place. A couple moments later, Sir Buzz gets a great inside move on Randy R3, who sees him, lets him go. As they come back out on the high banks, Randy R3 is going to drop down behind, tuck in it for drafting help, but this is going to set up an issue as they're coming to the chicane. Randy R3 sees it coming up, tries to back off, but he's going to get in the back of him anyway, and that's going to set up this nasty flip for Escuba 1. Big wreck for Escuba 1. Let's get on board with Randy R3. He knows the chicane's coming up. He tries to back off to keep from hitting him right about here, but all of a sudden the car's back in his nose again. Unavoidable contact. But you know what? Formula Rock, we don't point fingers and say, hey, it's your fault. We never do that. We never sit around calling another driver names when he makes a mistake, because we know every driver makes a mistake once in a while, so we never name call and we never point fingers. That's the great thing about Formula Rock racing. A couple of moments later, while Escuba 1 is still trying to get going, Johnny Kaz, trying to make up some ground, comes into the chicane and is just going to lose it big time, gets on the grass, and it's a huge accident for Johnny Kaz. And that will be the end of his race right there. Car is dead on the spot. After that huge mess is cleaned up and pit stops are made, we're going to go green flag racing once again. Armalat is now out front, Randy R3 second, Sir Buzz third. The green is out. We are racing. What a shocker. Didn't see that one coming. All right then, into turn 1. Everybody once again, like I've been saying, clean race, and DBD now on the inside of Escuba 1 in the infield section. Battling for about 8th, looks like, from here. Randy R3 has Sir Buzz going around the outside of him. Watch how close it gets here. Sir Buzz dives in. Randy R3 misses him. That can put hair on your chest right there. Unless you already have hair, then don't worry about it. Everybody continues. Nobody gets in an accident. Very nice. But under green flag conditions, Armalat's going to pull it in for his mandatory stop, relinquishing the lead to this driver right here, number 37, Sir Buzz, who has 2 victories up to this point in Formula Rock competition, but hasn't run up until a couple of weeks ago for about a year. You're looking at Mark B now, who's running in 4th spot. And now you're looking at Camaro Guy, who's trying to put a pass on Randy R3. This is the fight for 3rd. Randy R3 sees him coming. Camaro Guy makes a nice move, and that was for 2nd. Excuse me. Camaro Guy now in 2nd. Here's your leader, number 37, Sir Buzz in the Toyota ride. He's got about a 4-second lead at this point, and looking pretty stout. DVD running behind Escuba 1, coming into that right-hander, is going to have just a little too much speed. Off into the grass, but he will continue. Moments later, Tucson 4, same exact corner, gonna get on the rumble strip and just snap spin it, but he will continue without even losing a spot. And then 1 lap later, yet again, the same corner, 2nd running Camaro Guy 327 is gonna lose his mind in the sand trap. And that's just a big accident. Ends up nose first in the tire barrier, and his car has some heavy damage, but will continue. Under yellow, this is still green flag. Both Sir Buzz and Randy R3 are pitting. You'll see Randy R3 go by Sir Buzz. Sir Buzz will not lose the lead, however, as we are pitting. Well, he won't lose the lead on Randy R3, but the lead will actually be handed to this driver, Escuba 1, who had a bent-up wing. His crew did a great job getting that car fixed up. And he is still going. But about this time, Mark B is going to get all loose, spin out in turn 1, and without having a chance to even get going, he's clobbered by Randy R3. Big crunch for Mark B, and before he can get going, the motor lets go. And he'll be able to, on board with Randy R3, that you can't see anything going on, just a puff of smoke, and suddenly there's a stopped car, no chance to react. Ooh, what can you do? Mark B will limp it back to the pits, but he's done. That puts our 2 leaders, Escuba 1 and Tucson 4, into the pits for mandatory stops. It's now going to be a 3-lap dash to the finish. Sir Buzz brings him down. The damaged Camaro Guy 327 is in 2nd, but Armalat makes short work of that, dropping Camaro Guy to 3rd. Randy R3 trying to find a way by in 4th, and about half a lap later, he will dive underneath Camaro Guy, who has no straight line speed. Randy R3 now moves up to 3rd spot, as Escuba 1 moves up to 4th spot as we head into the chicane. Camaro Guy now 5th, but he's got other fast cars coming up behind him who are not damaged. The battle for the lead is incredible. Sir Buzz has it. Armalat wants it. We're going into turn 1. This is a recipe for disaster. Look how close it is. Armalat pinches it down to keep from hitting the leader. Nice work. Everybody gets through. Intense racing for the lead. At the same moment, the battle for 3rd place is heating up. Randy R3 is in that spot. Escuba 1 really wants it bad, as we are coming down to the end of this race. The white flag is out. Armalat's pulling out all stops to make the pass, but forgets to brake, and he's going to go off the track on the last lap, spin it into the weeds, keeps it off the wall. But at the same moment, as he's just getting stopped, here comes Escuba 1. Let's take a look at that again. What could have caused both drivers to go off at the same corner at almost the same time? Here's Escuba 1, exactly the same thing. Carrying too much speed, he's going to actually not be able to get it wound up and tag the wall. And we found out later, actually Randy R3 had paid a young woman to stand in that corner on the outside where the drivers can see them. Here she is, and she has a sign. She was distracting them, and that got them off the track and into the wall. Boy, some strategy by Randy R3. But let's take a look at your top 5 finishers. 5th place after getting back on the track by being distracted. Number 5, Escuba 1, will come home 5th. Bringing it home 4th, fellow distracted driver, number 45, Armalat, will take 4th. Okay, I just think that's funny. I'm sorry. I'm making myself laugh. No one else is laughing. I am. 4th place, Armalat. Just driving a clean, smart, intelligent race. 3rd is going to go to number 4, Tucson 4, who didn't get involved in anything. One little snap spin, waited for everyone else to make mistakes, takes 3rd spot. Bringing it home 2nd, like I said, he's never finished outside the top 5 in the 7 races he's run here, but this will be his best finish at Daytona. He's usually 3rd or 4th. Randy R3 is going to take 2nd place. Your winner, however, I believe this is his 2nd win at the Daytona Road Course. I believe he won once in Formula Groove racing. Winner, number 37, Sir Buzz, bags his 3rd victory in Formula Rock competition at the Daytona Road Course. And look, his car's taking a bow for you. Very nice. So as we look at the finish from another angle, here is your race results from the Daytona Road Course. Next week is the second part of the 2 weeks of Daytona as we race flat out on the oval itself. It is the Jeff Sumter Memorial 200 in honor of Lady, who's racing with us. please be there, guys, and support us on this race. And again, thanks everybody for showing up. Awesome racing. Great time. We'll see you next week. Good night.
Does anybody know what I'm talking about?